The Braves' pathetic offense cost them another game. Hi, I figured it would be better to start the afternoon with an afternoon. My goodness, what are these West Coast games doing to me? It's only day one. Well, it's better to start the video with a hot take, which isn't really all that hot, like the Braves' offense at the moment. The jokes write themselves. Hello, everybody. Welcome in to another Braves recap. And it's becoming more and more unfortunate that we have to do losses now after what started out as just an absolute heater of a series. So Atlanta goes to San Diego, loses 1-0, basically to Michael King. That was the entire Padres team today. He goes 7 innings of shutout ball. Manny Machado, the only run for San Diego, a solo shot to start out the fourth inning. I don't know what it is with Grant Holmes in the fourth inning. I know that's statistically the second time through the lineup where it's guaranteed, but every single time, the fourth inning is what gets him. He was actually pretty good tonight, and by fourth inning blow-up standards for Grant Holmes, this was pretty manageable. I mean, only gave up one run, Manny Machado, and then got you two more outs. He did walk two people before that, but Didier Fuentes comes in, gets you a single out so you can keep pace. And it comes down to the Braves could not score a run tonight. And it's one of those things, maybe they deserve to win this game. I mean, they did out-hit the Padres, nearly doubled up their hits. And if you include errors, they did have, 7 hits, 1 error. So they had more base runners. We can put it like, well, I guess actually, no, if you factor in all of Grant Holmes' walks, they did not have more base runners. It would have been pretty close. But Atlanta had more offense, at least on paper. Paper does not matter at all. We play the games on very oddly shaped fields that are supposed to kind of resemble diamonds, but don't really. We have buildings that were built in 1909 standing in left field for some reason. We're on the West Coast. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking to you. I don't know why. Baseball's baseball, and I love it. But it's for sure not determined on paper. Today, the Braves have been anemic offensively for about 2 months now, and they have not been able to figure it out. They struggle mightily right now against lefties because all of their best hitters are lefties. I mean, Drake Baldwin, Matt Olson, Michael Harris are typically your big three, and then Ozzy Albies has been really good lately, but he switch hits, so he's typically your only real option against righties. And it's kind of a shame for what the Braves are doing right now. I thought they put up at least a valiant effort in the ninth inning against Mason Miller. Probably actually made him work for it for once, because they mentioned on the broadcast normally these go 1, 2, 3, go bye, go home to your hotel. But Mason Miller struggled. Ozzy put a really good swing on the ball just right at the left fielder. Michael was out for lunch. That's a really tough at-bat for him, though, considering how much he chases. And outside of that, I thought there were some good at-bats put together. Austin Riley just sprang one into the left center gap. That has been something that has been a pretty good development over the last few days. Is Austin Riley has thrown together a few really good games now. Another 3 hits here tonight, including one, like I said, off of Mason Miller, who I think they said has now started 52 games or come in to close 52 straight games without blowing a save, which is insanity. That's crazy. Back against the Diamondbacks last August was the last time he blew a save, which is statistically very, very improbable. That's so impressive for Mason Miller. And I don't know. The Braves just did not have an answer for Michael King. That has been the story of the Braves versus Michael King. They just don't know how to hit him. Michael King has dominated this lineup basically every single time he has seen them. And I don't really know what to say. I mean, it goes back to that playoff series where they played in the wild card in 2024, and King absolutely just stole their lunch money. Braves just have no answer against Michael King. Even this year when he's struggling, comes out and throws 7 innings of shutout ball. Back to Austin Riley. Austin Riley, though, good night. 3-hit night, at least, for him. And he's slowly starting to put together a better approach, at least, it seems. Good at-bats here against Milwaukee, against San Diego in Game 1. Hopefully this continues, and the Braves can build on it. Dom Smith works a walk. Some questionable swing, no swing calls there in the 9th inning, but you kind of take what you can get. It worked out to be a walk anyways. And Yastrzemski, once again, that's just a very tough at-bat. I thought he did the best that he could, but you cannot go down. You cannot enter the 9th inning down a run against the Padres. You knew that coming into the series, that just like the Braves have their fantastic bullpen, the Padres can make this a 7-inning game if they want to. And they did tonight. Mason Miller comes in, but Mason Miller wasn't even as impressive as Adrian Morejon was tonight. He went 1-2-3. He absolutely shut the Braves down with 2 strikeouts against the very top of the lineup. So, against Dubon, Baldwin, and Olsen. So, a lot can be said about the Braves bats. Padres pitching was fantastic tonight, as much as it sometimes says you just get beat. But at the same time, you can't be losing games 1-0. You can't blame the pitching staff. Grant Holmes, like I mentioned earlier, the 4th inning has been terrible for him this year. But you also don't have many better options to start right now. Like, you have 2 true legitimate rotation pieces. And that's Martin Perez and Chris Sale. And you tend to win those games. And then outside of that, Bryce Elder has regressed down to lower than earth. I don't really know where he's at right now. Which, granted, yesterday the BABIP shows outside of the home run that he was still getting unlucky. However, at some point, you just can't throw 93 in the big leagues. We're on a different topic. Grant Holmes, really good. Like I said, 4 innings tonight. Or 4 innings. And then he got you through in the 5th and just got you 2 outs before getting pulled. So that's at least a little bit more length than Grant Holmes has given you in the past few days, or past few times out. It's a good start for him. You need to cut down on the walks. Can't walk 5 guys. And it didn't come back to bite him. Really, he's still taking the L, despite lowering his ERA. So you can kind of take that as you will. But there's not really anyone better right now. Maybe if you think either Drew Hackenberg or Owen Murphy in Gwinnett, either of those guys are ready to go. I think both of them have big league potential, but I don't know how much you really want to count on those guys. Hurston Waldrop is probably still at least a week away, maybe 2. It's really just he's got to get his groove back to be able to pitch at the major league level, because you don't want to bring him up and then have to send him back down. And, I mean, outside of that, there's not help coming. AJ Smith-Shawver, maybe, will be here in the soonest, though, is about a month. So, have to make do until teams are willing to trade starting caliber pitching to fill in this rotation, until a Spencer Strider can get back to being Spencer Strider, until you maybe get Spencer Schwellenbach back. And outside of that, there's no help coming. So you need to win, just to make the math, you need to win 1 out of every Bryce Elder, Grant Holmes, and who is he? I guess it's J.R. Ritchie. Yeah, you have to win 1 of J.R. Ritchie, Bryce Elder, or Grant Holmes's starts. And then you're going 3 and 5. As long as you're winning every Martin Perez and Chris Sale start. That's doable. 3 out of every 5 games. That's serviceable. It may not keep the Phillies from passing you, but it should keep them at least kind of close by. So, because the Phillies are due to cool off as well. They're very, very, very hot right now, but it's also unsustainable for them to stay as hot as they are. So, I know that's not the answer that a lot of Braves fans want to hear, but you just kind of gotta wait. We're still 6 weeks away from the deadline. Deadline's August 3rd. So, and as close as all of the standings are in the American League and even in the National League, the National League's starting to kind of separate a little bit more than the American League. But I just don't see why anyone would want to sell right now. Just wait, kick the can down the road. So, we'll see. I do think the Braves are going to be very aggressive at the trade deadline. I think they're going to go after a certain Detroit Tigers pitcher, though. I do not think it's Tariq Skubal. I do think Casey Mize is more of Atlanta's speed, and that's still a very, very good get. And I do think getting multiple starters would be more helpful than getting one over-the-top ace at the moment, at least. So, and the good news is it doesn't really seem like you have to go digging for a bullpen arm, because the bullpen showed you tonight. Didier Fuentes got you an out. Dylan Dodd pitched admirably, got himself into a little bit of trouble, but was able to get out of it on his own, because the Braves were not bringing anybody into the 8th inning of this game. But Dylan Dodd was good tonight. He's been a wonderful surprise ever since getting back from injury. 193 ERA. And then Karinchak, just does nothing but get outs for Atlanta. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but people can't hit him right now. So you got 5 outs out of him, and he still has a 0 ERA on the season. 1 strikeout, 1 walk. You'll take those numbers out of what is basically, I guess, your 6th guy off the phone. So the good news is the Braves do not need bullpen help at the moment. We're going to knock on this solid wood desk, and you can probably hear it in my mic how solid that is. But they don't have to go there starting pitching, and they need an impact bat. So a little bit of a different situation than other contenders. So that helps you out a bit. You don't have to compete as much for some of the people you want to go get. But we're still, like I said, about 6 weeks out from the trade deadline. So help is not on the way quite yet. You have to just, like I said, win 3 of 5. And that should hopefully allow you to keep pace and keep the Phillies within arm's length until the final stretch. Tough loss tonight. Tough loss yesterday too, but you'll take 2 of 3 from the Brewers any way you can get it, even if that last game was brutal. Joey Bart, first home run yesterday in a Braves uniform. Good for the kid. I like that. I actually kind of wonder if he might stay on this roster after Murphy is back, if he can be somewhat serviceable as a bat, because that at least gives you and then maybe you replace Dom Smith, possibly. I think that would be who would get the boot, because that would allow you to use Baldwin every day as a DH and not have to worry about putting him behind the plate and losing the DH spot. I don't know. It's worth considering. Looking at tomorrow's matchup in San Diego, it doesn't get much easier for Atlanta, because tomorrow they're facing TBD. So we actually don't know who the Padres will be rolling out. J.R. Ritchie will get the start, though, for Atlanta. 1-2, 4.54 ERA with 30 strikeouts for the rookie so far this season. Obviously, the Padres have never seen J.R. Ritchie, so it should be a very interesting experience for him. Ritchie, I expect him to rebound throughout the season and do better. Last time out was not it, but at the same time, you don't have anyone better to throw out. So the kid's going to have to learn in the big leagues by getting punched around a little bit. Which, the 2 guys at the top of the rotation right now are probably 2 of the best guys to have in your ear if you are struggling as a rookie. Chris Sale, Martin Perez. Chris Sale talks about all the time how he got absolutely shelled in his debut outing. So, really good guy to just give advice for some of the younger guys on this team. But right now, J.R. Ritchie will be going tomorrow. Don't know the Padres starter, but we do know on Wednesday, an 8:40 p.m. start this time, Martin Perez will be taking on Randy Vasquez. 6-3, 2.78 ERA, 56 strikeouts for the lefty for Martin Perez. Randy Vasquez, righty, 6.5, 4.17 ERA, 59 strikeouts. So The Braves need to go ahead and win the Richie start tomorrow, and then any Perez Sale start is a must win right now for Atlanta as they kind of flounder in the month of June. But until next time, we'll see. Well, hold on that. Schedule update. We're going to try to get videos out every day this week. I have to work for the Columbus Clingstones. So, work obviously takes first priority. But after that, if we have game, if we have energy, afterwards, we'll make some videos. Maybe they come out the morning after instead of the night of. But we'll try our best to get as many videos out this week as possible. I thank y'all if y'all watched this far into this very rambly video. Not a ton of statistical, really, breakdown of pitchers and hitters this game, but kind of just a general, let's yap about it at 1:16 in the morning. Only 5 more games out west for Atlanta, and then back east or in Central Time Zone for the rest of the season. But I'm Caden. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. Peace out, and keep on shopping.